Hi guys, Jamie from Boxing Life, and I thought I'd give you my immediate reaction to Canelo versus Plant. So overall, really good fight, really enjoyed it, and I guess I'll just go through my thoughts as it went on. So I think, obviously the early rounds, I think Plant did very well. I think he used the jab well, some good defensive movement, and yeah, I think he did well early rounds, like I think most predicted. But I think in terms of Canelo, he just came out there to download the information he needed. And, he applied the pressure. Well, maybe getting countered a couple of times, but, took his time. He knew it was a 12-round fight. Yeah, I think, he was just downloading the information he needed from Plant, the types of movements he was going to, the types of feints. And from around, probably I think round 4 to maybe round 7, Canelo really stepped up the pressure, cut off the ring beautifully, started throwing shot. You caught him with a good few left hooks, and was particularly targeting that right side of Plant's body, especially when they kind of came together. I think in the end that's what kind of slowed down Plant, and that left hook up top. I think as well, he was getting a little bit frustrated, Canelo too. I think he was pushing it a bit too much at times, and maybe got a bit tired. At one point he was trying to play possum on the ropes, and Caleb Plant wouldn't fall for it, and then eventually, Canelo had to start putting the pressure on again. I think he just managed it really well. I think and then the 8th round and the 9th, I think it was the 9th round, Plant caught Canelo with a 1-2, 1-2 out of nowhere, and you could tell Canelo was just couldn't believe he got hit with that shot, and he was getting frustrated. You could tell just with the movement and getting into range. And if there's any Spanish speakers, please let me know. But at one point, went to the corner of Canelo, and Eddie Reynoso was looking very frustrated and didn't look happy with the output of Canelo. And then, he stepped it up after that, really. And I was really impressed with him. I just think Canelo did a really good job in terms of the footwork of cutting off the ring. And he was tremendous. He's so good at cutting off the ring and applying that pressure. And then when he gets up close, I think Caleb Plant actually did quite well to tie him up at times. Maybe Plant could have kept moving a bit more, but I don't think he could have done too much more. I think Canelo just cut off the ring so well at times, trapped him in the corners, and Plant didn't really have a choice but to stand toe to toe with him at times. But yeah, I just think it was just a really intelligent performance from Canelo. He just managed the fight well. Yes, he got frustrated, but he came out in that 10th round and he just put on the pressure and, got Plant with some good shots, and then came out in that 11th round and it was a tremendous finish. I can't discredit Canelo at all. It was a tremendous finish from him. And, although he was getting frustrated, I think for the most part he did have control of the fight throughout the whole thing. He didn't look too uncomfortable, and that is why he's one of the true greats in my opinion now. Just a tremendous, overall tremendous performance from him, and yeah, I'm just really impressed, I have to admit, just by the management. I think my scorecard, I had actually scored it a draw, but I actually had Canelo up 1 round. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, how you kind of had the fight. I was maybe generous to Plant in one of the rounds, but I think it was just the pressure of Canelo that did it for me. That's why I kind of had him ahead. And then obviously the 11th round, he would have won anyway, I think, and probably the 12th. I did, in my prediction, I did say I felt Canelo would win in a 12-round decision. I think I said Plant would cause him problems, and he did. You cannot deny that. But at the end of the day, Canelo is pound for pound number 1. You cannot deny it now. He's answered all the questions. He's become undisputed in, I think, less than 12 months. He's, unified the whole division. It's crazy. He is one of the true greats. First Mexican to win 4 belts. You cannot deny that the guy is, one of the greatest fighters of this generation, and he's the face of boxing. And, credit to Plant. I think he gave him a good fight. I think he caused him some problems with his movement. I think, it was quite similar to the Kovalev fight in that respect. I think Canelo struggled with the size at times in terms of getting into distance and then actually landing shots. However, like I said, he finds a way with that intelligent pressure. He doesn't stop mentally. The mental pressure of someone putting that pressure on you for 11 rounds, let's be honest, on Plant, that it takes its toll. And at the end of the day, Canelo finished off in spectacular fashion. So hats off to Canelo, deserves it. Pound for pound number 1 in my opinion now, can't deny it. And I don't know where he goes from here. I think, obviously, people talk about the Benavidez fight at 168. I think that could be a good fight, but let's be honest, Canelo is probably going to win that again pretty easily, in my opinion. And I would like to see him move up to light heavyweight. I think that's the best move next. Try and take over another division. There's obviously Bivol, Beterbiev. Personally, I think Beterbiev at the moment is too strong for Canelo. I think he's too big. However, if he leaves it a couple of years, Beterbiev's, he is getting old now, and the longer he leaves it, the better chance Canelo's got. So I'd like to see him move up to light heavyweight. I think he can definitely win more titles at light heavyweight, and I think he's good enough to operate at that weight. But those guys are big, and they'll be able to take punches just as, the punches of Canelo a lot better than the guys at super middleweight and middleweight. But like I said, I think that isn't disrespect to Canelo. I think, I think he definitely can win world titles. I think he can beat Beterbiev. I think he can beat Bivol. But I think the size difference at that weight is big compared to super middleweight, in my opinion. But Canelo can use his speed and his defensive techniques, and maybe the pressure won't work as much, but he'll be a lot quicker at that weight than those guys. And yeah, I'd like to see that. Let me know in the comments below what you think Canelo should do next. I'd love to hear your opinions on that. And yeah, I think just final note as well, great fight. I think Caleb Plant did a good job overall. I think he gave it his best shot, and Caleb Plant, I think, in my opinion, is still a world-class fighter. I think he'll come again. This will definitely set him up for some big fights in the future. Maybe he'll fight Benavidez next. Who knows? If Canelo decides to go up to light heavyweight, I'd love to see. I think Plant can't be disheartened by that performance. I think he proved his worth. But Canelo, like I said, is pound for pound number 1 and one of the true greats in boxing. And when Canelo eventually retires, people will look back at Canelo and realise how good this guy is. So yeah, credit to him. Let me know in the comments below how you think the fight went. I'd love to know your thoughts. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.